All right, Prime Minister, as we all know, is now all set to make that address in the Sansad. You can see his cavalcade is very much there. Prime Minister's office is all set to exit South Block. Live visuals, in fact, latest visuals coming in of Prime Minister Modi as he prepares to exit the South Block. And South Block to Seva Teerth is what the Prime Minister is looking to move towards. Prime Minister is inaugurating the new building complex, the Seva Teerth in Delhi, as we all know. And he is all set to make that address also. And this will be his last meeting in South Block today at 4 p.m. And this will be a bittersweet moment for Prime Minister and, of course, the entire government, as Prime Minister is now also inaugurating the Seva Teerth and Kartavya Bhavan 1 and 2 both. It is a landmark for the Modi government, as we all know. And at the same time, Prime Minister exiting the South Block. Let's quickly go across to Payal. Payal, as the feelings coming to mind are that this is going to be a bittersweet moment. On one hand, you have Prime Minister inaugurating the Seva Teerth, and on the other hand, you have him exiting the South Block. Payal, can you hear me?
Yes. What we do understand is the Prime Minister is just about inaugurated and, in fact, unveiled the name of the complex, which houses the PMO, the NSCS and the Cabinet Secretary at the Seva Teerth. Since the year 2014, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken multiple steps to remove the colonial parts of colonial history that we really have and usher in a very Indian mindset and what we stand really for as well. And therefore, some of the changes that you've seen, South Block has been converted into Seva Teerth, Central segregated into Kartavya Bhavan, Rajpath into Kartavya Path, and Lok Kalyan Marg is now, earlier it was an Espo's Road, Raj Bhavan are called Lok Bhavan as well. So multiple, colonized mindset, mentality is being changed, and more Indianness and what we really stand for comes in. And that has also been one of the key reasons that we've done away with a lot of archaic laws and a lot of British-era laws and replaced them to more modernized and more Indianized laws.
So when we talk about Prime Minister exiting the South Block and the Seva Teerth, the Kartavya Bhavan 1 and 2, so what do these new buildings now stand for? Is this the Naya Bharat that Prime Minister has always envisioned?
Mr. Narendra Modi has always spoken about a good India in 2047, a bright India in 2047. That is something which he's always stood for. The fact remains that Prime Minister himself has always called himself as a person who's dedicated in the service of the nation. Pradhan Sevak is what he really stood for. Therefore, Kartavya Bhavan has also been, part of that reach out, given the fact that they feel that, we are here in the service of the public as well. And therefore, Seva Teerth, again, Teerth is something which is very, very holy, very pious, and Seva means working for the cause of the nation as well. So the Prime Minister's office is not like an office, it's more of a place from where various decisions in the interest of the country need to be taken, and that is something which has to have that reflection really happen. So whether it is the Jan Vishwas bill in the past or multiple bills also that the Prime Minister had very, very specifically named, also stand a true test of this as well. In fact, all the missions that India undertakes to rescue its people always have a touch to it, which actually makes you reflect why this was taken up.
And take us through the agenda behind Prime Minister's last address at the South Block as well, Payal.
Well, today is going to be the historic last cabinet meeting that will take place at South Block, where the Prime Minister's current office really is. It's going to be of great symbolism, given the fact that, the entire North Block and South Block will very soon move to these Kartavya Bhavans. You've had various ministries that have actually moved in. External Affairs Ministry has not completely moved in. Some portion of them are still there at South Block as well. And that is going to be converted into a museum which talks about eternity. Time eternity, something that the museum will reflect on. So what the Prime Minister shares with his cabinet colleagues, because this government has been in power since 2014 and various changes have been witnessed. So we are also looking at the completion of the entire Central Vista project in the next few years as well. A lot of buildings have been there for decades together as well. Why are they changing? What does this mean? What does this mean in terms of the Indian context? That is something which the Prime Minister is expected to share with his cabinet colleagues in this last historical cabinet meeting that is having at South Block, which is currently the Prime Minister's office.
All right. Also, if you can, bring viewers up to speed with regards to what Kartavya Bhavan 1 and 2 will be standing for. What offices are going to be housed in these two buildings?
Various offices which are there, the Home Ministry has already moved into Kartavya Bhavan 1. That is something which we've really seen. And multiple offices will also stand in the coming times. See, so far, you have seen that the Finance Ministry, the Home Ministry have completely moved into their new offices. And more offices are going to be, in fact, housing in the coming times as well. Just to take up viewers, that South Block, which has housed the Prime Minister's offices of independence, was the nerve center of the executive for decades together. Now the new buildings will have housing for multiple other ministries, and after 78 years, the Prime Minister's office is now moving to iconic South Block. So Kartavya 1 and 2, which will be also housing some other central government ministries, Modi is set to address public in the evening at Seva Teerth and tell them what really stands as well. So far, the Ministries of Finance, Defence, Health, Family Welfare, Corporate Affairs, Education, Culture, Law, Justice, Information Broadcasting, Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Chemical Fertilizers and Tribal Affairs will be there in the first in Kartavya 1 and Kartavya 2, Kartavya Bhavan 1 and Kartavya Bhavan 2, and it is built nearly at a cost of 1,200 crores. The Seva Teerth complex is a part of the government's larger Central Vista project, like I was telling you.
Stay with me, Payal. I'm also joined in by Arun Dhanta, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Arun, this inauguration today marks a transformative milestone, especially when it comes to India's administrative governance. Shed light on why this is such a milestone today for the Naya Bharat that Prime Minister has always envisioned.
Well, that's right. This is going to be a new nerve center of democracy here, Akanksha, where Prime Minister, of course, is now, and he's inaugurating that Seva Teerth, which is going to be his new address. It's almost 8 decades since we had the office there in the South Block, and now Prime Minister's office, and most importantly, you will also have the Cabinet Secretariat, National Security Council Secretariat in the same place. This is for the first time you'll have all three things under one roof, and this will of course increase that coordination between all these departments. Beside this, Akanksha, Prime Minister is also inaugurating the Kartavya Bhavan 1 and 2. Remember, last year in August, Kartavya Bhavan 3 was inaugurated, and today it will be Kartavya Bhavan 1 and 2, and both these Kartavya Bhavans will host some of the most important ministries like Defence Ministry, Finance Ministry, Information and Broadcasting, Health Ministry, Law and Justice. All of these ministries will be in these two Kartavya Bhavans. The sense, of course, within the government is that this will cut the time wastage which would happen earlier, because different ministries were scattered in different places in Delhi, and there were continuous meetings, interministerial meetings, which would happen, and that would of course kill time, and also of course money, as well as secretaries would travel across. With this, you will have all these important ministries in the closeness with each other. So that is also going to be very, very important. And this is a state-of-the-art facility, Akanksha. All the best available facilities that we have, equipments that we have at this point. This is going to be a digital fortress also. AI 360-degree surveillance of this, fiber optics, communication lines, etc. So this is a massive, massive boost for the digital India that we've been speaking about, and also, of course, the infrastructurally that country is growing, and the utilization of the technology that we'll be doing.
So, it's interesting you talk about how this will be a digital governed, AI-driven ecosystem which will look towards incorporating technology for a better citizen sort of addressal mechanism as well. Take our viewers, especially given the timing is so critical, Arun, let's not forget India is also playing host to an international AI Impact Summit next week.
Well, that's right, and we have seen that how Delhi, especially the central Delhi in and around where the event is going to take place, has completely decked up, and also, of course, the new PMO, the Seva Teerth is also in the vicinity of the Bharat Mandapam, where this AI event is taking place. And at the same time, when India is going to host that event, you have the shifting of the Prime Minister's office in this new building. Remember why it is also important. Prime Minister now stays in 7 LKM, and whenever he has to travel from 7 LKM to the South Block to his office, and of course to the Parliament, you will see there is a route for the Prime Minister, so you will have no traffic movement. So with this, because Prime Minister's residence is also going to be close to Seva Teerth, so there will not be any problem for the vehicular movement. Prime Minister can come in 10 seconds, 15 seconds to his office, and then of course if he wants to go to Parliament, that is also in the vicinity. The distance between Parliament and Seva Teerth is barely 100 meters, and also the South Block office of Prime Minister, and this is barely 50 meters distance. So this is a huge historic moment for the country, when we are of course getting rid of the colonial era, as we've been discussing about this, that whether it is Kartavya Path, which was earlier known as Rajpath, that was changed. Prime Minister's residence, where he's housing right now, is on 7 LKM. That was also earlier named 7 Race Course Road. So we have seen certain decisions which Modi government has taken, which they say is getting rid of the colonial era. And today, of course, we are seeing that Prime Minister's office, National Security Advisor's office, Cabinet Secretary's office, all of this is moving out from the South Block to the new complex of Seva Teerth. And name is also very important, the way it has been chosen. Remember, the earlier name was Executive Secretariat. That was renamed with Seva Teerth, and we saw the Prime Minister Modi, of course, launching that nameplate of the entire complex. So this is a very significant and a very important day for the country, when you will have this new nerve center being inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi.